Once upon a time, there were two curious siblings, Lucy and Ben, who loved spending time at their grandma's old, enchanting house. Grandma's house was big, with creaky wooden floors, walls full of old pictures, and shelves full of curious things from all over the world. But the best part was her garden, a sprawling, magical place that stretched as far as they could see. Grandma's garden was full of blooming flowers, towering trees, colorful plants, and even a small pond where frogs would sometimes sing in the evenings. One chilly morning on November 2nd, Lucy and Ben ran outside to play in the garden. The air was crisp and colorful leaves covered the ground. As they played, they noticed something strange. A small door nestled between the roots of a massive oak tree at the edge of the garden. They had never seen this door before, and it was so small they almost missed it. The door was covered with ivy, and its rusty keyhole glinted in the sun. Ben crouched down, squinting at it. "Do you think it's just a part of the tree?" he asked, brushing the ivy away. Lucy shook her head. "No way. Look. It has a handle, and it's way too perfect to be random." She reached out and gave the handle a little tug. It didn't budge. "I wonder if Grandma knows about this door," she mused. Excited by their discovery, they ran back inside to find Grandma, who was sitting in her cozy chair, knitting a bright red scarf. Her eyes twinkled as they described what they found. "Oh, that door," she said, a playful smile on her face. "It only opens on one day of the year, today, November 2nd, but you'll need a special rhyme to unlock it." Ben and Lucy exchanged excited looks. "What's the rhyme, Grandma?" they asked, barely able to contain their excitement. Grandma leaned in, her voice dropping to a whisper. "Repeat after me. In the garden where secrets grow, open the door and let me know. But remember," she added, her tone suddenly serious, "once you step through, you might see things you've never imagined, and it will take you where you need to go, not necessarily where you want to go." With that, Grandma shooed them off, a twinkle in her eye. They ran back to the little door, knelt down, and said the rhyme together. "In the garden where secrets grow, open the door and let me know." To their amazement, the tiny door creaked open slowly, revealing a glowing tunnel. Holding each other's hands, they took a deep breath and stepped inside. The moment they stepped through the door, they found themselves in a magical forest. But it wasn't like any forest they'd ever seen. The trees had shimmering silver leaves, flowers glowed in all colors of the rainbow, and the air was filled with a sweet, fruity scent. "Wow," whispered Ben, his eyes wide. "This place is magical." Lucy nodded, her mouth hanging open in amazement. Suddenly, they heard a soft voice from above. "Welcome, little travelers." They looked up to see a wise-looking owl perched on a branch, staring down at them with big, kind eyes. "My name is Ollie," the owl said, "and I'm the guide of this land. Only those with pure hearts can enter here. You're on a journey to find something important." Ben and Lucy looked at each other, a little unsure. "What are we supposed to find?" Lucy asked. Ollie tilted his head, eyes twinkling. "That, my friends, is for you to discover. Follow the path, and you will know soon enough. But beware, for each step has its own challenges." With that, the owl swooped down, showing them a shimmering path that twisted through the magical forest. The siblings started walking, and as they did, they began to notice strange and wonderful things around them. The path soon led them to a small pond that seemed too deep to cross. In the middle of the pond was a large lily pad, and sitting on it was a very serious-looking frog wearing tiny glasses. "Halt!" said the frog in a loud, croaky voice. "If you want to pass, you must answer my riddle." Ben grinned. He loved riddles. "Go on, Mr. Frog. We're ready." The frog adjusted his glasses and asked, "What has keys but can't open locks?" The kids thought for a moment. Lucy's eyes lit up as she whispered to Ben, "A piano." "Piano," they said together. The frog smiled. "Very good. You may pass." And just like that, stones began to rise from the water, forming a bridge across the pond. The siblings carefully crossed and continued on their journey, wondering what would come next. After walking for what felt like hours, they reached a garden filled with mirrors. Each mirror showed a different scene. In one, Lucy saw herself reading a book under a tree. In another, Ben saw himself playing with a puppy they had always wanted. "These mirrors show what's in your heart," a soft voice said, and they turned to see a kind, elderly woman smiling at them. "To move forward, you must choose only one mirror to keep with you. This choice will guide your journey." Lucy chose the mirror where she was reading under a tree, as she loved reading. Ben chose the one with the puppy, feeling a warm sense of happiness in his heart. The mirrors shrank to pocket size, and they tucked them safely away. Next, they arrived at a valley filled with dandelions. Each time the wind blew, the dandelions' white seeds floated up like tiny stars. A soft voice told them, "Make a wish, and if it's truly from your heart, it will lead you to your treasure." Ben and Lucy closed their eyes and made their wishes. Lucy wished for wisdom to know the right things to do. Ben wished for courage to always stand up for himself and others. As they made their wishes, the dandelions glowed, and the path ahead opened up. Finally, they reached a clearing where they saw a sparkling stone on a pedestal. They approached it, feeling its warmth. "This is your treasure," a voice whispered. "It's not gold or jewels, but it holds a special power. It will guide you to happiness, as long as you remember to use it with kindness." Ben and Lucy touched the stone, and suddenly they were back in Grandma's garden. The little door was gone, but they could still feel the warmth of the stone in their hearts. Grandma was waiting, smiling knowingly. "Did you find what you were looking for?" The siblings nodded, sharing a look of understanding. They knew now that the real treasure wasn't anything they could hold in their hands. It was the courage, wisdom, and love they had gained along the way. From that day on, Ben and Lucy kept the memory of their adventure close. They knew the door might never open again, but they had something even better, a new understanding of what truly mattered. And every year, on November 2nd, they would walk through Grandma's garden, feeling the magic that had changed them forever.